data meet team for the last part. So anyway, so let's start the session with Vasudev. So I'll. Sorry.
Good afternoon. I represent Child Rights Trust. I am Vasudeva Sharma. Along with me we have Mr. Nagaraj and Mr. Satyanarayana from Child Rights Trust. And we also have Mr. Kiran Kulkarni here, and Mr. Abhilash from Huduku. You can see the names there. IT support Huduku. The person Sudeep, what's his name? Sudeep, no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's there. Those who were in the earlier session where Sudeep presented about Gram Panchayat, the funds and utilization, etc., will be very familiar about the situation in Gram Panchayats and the various development issues, etc. Probably what I am going to share with you from Child Rights Trust will be a kind of continuation of the same discussion. I felt really happy at the presentation, although I joined in between. He talking about how Gram Panchayats are, we can say, empowered through financial allocations and the programs, etc. And also he showed about various functions of the Gram Panchayat. We are concentrating on only one issue, that is child. Child in villages, child in Gram Panchayats. This is a material, we call it Our Children, Our Progress, a child tracking system, where we are talking about integrated child data gathering, analysis, reporting, monitoring system, which is not there right now. We are looking at something new. I would like to relate some of the issues to bring into the contextual, into the context so that we can have the discussions. India today has the highest child population. As per 2001 census, it was 44% of the total population. As per the 2011 census, it is talking about 40 to 42%. Karnataka has got about little over 30% of the total child population. That's what it says. At the same time, we have very high incidence of child rights violations. Just for information, it's a longer discussion, but to put it down, survival, protection, development, participation rights of the children are being violated by largely the service providers. So we call it as omissions on part of the people who are supposed to deliver services to children, and of course people who are violating it without knowing about the rights of children. And a very huge program base in India, both government, non-government, private sectors. Now CSR, too many programs are there, funds are there. We have several commitments signed by Government of India, name it MDG, Millennium Development Goals, or call it CRC, Convention on the Rights of the Child. We have got National Plan for Children, National Policy for Children, State Policy, a State Plan of Action for Children. Everything is there with targets to be achieved within 5 years, within 10 years, etc. There are a lot of laws related to children. Recently we have got POCSO, Prevention or Protection of Children Against Sexual Offences. And we have Juvenile Justice Act, we have a Right to Education Act, we have Karnataka National Commissions for Protection of Children's Act. So many things are there. Programs are there, and now our judiciary is very active. Judiciary is talking about children. But the basic problem is, we are talking about international plans, national plans, but all these plans have to be implemented at the root level, at the grassroots level, let us say at village level. A program which is conceived at Delhi, by the time it reaches a village, probably the program period is almost over. I mean, if you are familiar with villages, if you have gone there, if you have worked with them, you'll get to know that it takes years for a program to reach. Even budgetary allocations which are meant for a particular financial year, let us say 2013-14, budgets were presented in the month of February, but the actual allocation starts only after October, November. What is the use, what is the fun in allocating funds in the month of October, November, when the projects will be over by March? Many a times NGOs get so frustrated that there is no point in applying with the government for any budgets. Well, reports are there about the situation of children. Now you can go and ask Government of India, Government of Karnataka, you find reports about all projects implementation. You ask for infant mortality rate, underfed mortality rate, enrollment, etc. You get reports. But many times we doubt how this data is generated. Data is really unreliable because there is no counter check of data with one department to another department. I mean, this I am telling after working with NGOs, government, etc. for the past 25 years. Wastage of resources or duplication of resources, programs and lack of collaboration, and our situation of children remain there only. Well, some of the questions that we keep asking ourselves. Who is responsible for malnourishment of children? Last year and before last year, you must have read in the newspapers a lot of reports about children dying because of malnutrition, and every department tried to show its fingers to another department. Women and Child Development said it is Health Department. Health Department said no, it is Social Welfare. Social Welfare said no, it is Foods and Civil Supply. Somebody said Health. It just went around and nobody wants to take responsibility for that. Death of mothers, death of infants really continues. It is really quite alarming, shocking, the numbers. Enrollment figures, you will find that 100% enrollment, but when you really look at the number of children in schools, it is dwindling. Why so? But nobody takes care of that, nobody takes responsibility for that. And why there is nobody to respond, taking responsibility to child marriages, child pregnancy, child abuse, missing of children, death of children, particularly death of mothers at the time of delivery and death of mothers who are below 18, and nobody records to say that there are children, there is mothers who are below 18 have died. You will find that at district level they say that only 5 mothers died, 6 mothers died, but in reality it will be more than that. And GPs do not have any information about children in their vicinity. And when this is so, what is the use in talking about Millennium Development Goals to be achieved? 2015 is the last year for that. And step plan of action to be achieved. And what is the role of the GP are some of the questions. The local duty bearers. Can you identify them? I know it's not an NGO presentation, NGO forum, but I'm still making it. These are the local service providers, starting from a school teacher, Gram Panchayat member, police, Anganwadi worker, health worker, etc. And we see that none of them work together. As a result, there is no planning, there is nothing happening. Let's say about 10 years ago, when we were asking questions like, so how many children are there in your Gram Panchayat? Many times we used to get answers of this kind, we don't know. That is the Gram Panchayat, and we don't know. Go and ask somebody, go and ask teachers, go and ask somebody else. When there are systems where they can sit and just head count children, they are not doing it. There is no coordination there. So after about some 5-6 years of work with the Gram Panchayats, now we can say that at least Gram Panchayats try to say that this is the number of children in our area, this is what we are doing, this is the number of children with disabilities, etc. That is what we are getting. But we cannot stop there, we have to go further. We are looking at Panchayat having a coordination at least of this kind. So, data, numbers we are talking about. Number of children at a Gram Panchayat with age breakup 0 to 3, 3 to 6, 6 to 14, 14 to 18. If you have that kind of a number, then we can talk about how many children are there in Gram Panchayat, in the Anganwadi, how many children are there in the school, how many children are there in out of school, how many children with disabilities, how many children have to be given services, how many children from scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, minority, etc. Then we can look at the possibilities of whether the services are reaching them or not.
So what we did, we worked with Gram Panchayats for about 5-6 years, and then we convinced the government of Karnataka to issue a circular that every Gram Panchayat should conduct a child special Gram Sabha at least once in a year. In the Gram Sabha, they have to look at the number of children in the Panchayat, statistics basically, data, and understand the data. Then we also released a book with success stories on what happens if there is data, what happens if there is discussion on the basis of data at Gram Panchayat level. This experience has been recorded in the Citizen-Centric Innovations in Karnataka 2012, which talks about when you have data, when you have interpretation of the data at the Panchayat level, what changes it can happen. I would like to draw your attention to this. This is from the 2011-16 5-year strategic plan developed by Ministry of Women and Child Development, Government of India. It is talking about a particular scheme called Integrated Child Protection Scheme, launched in 2009-10. It talks about how we can protect children. We need to protect children who are vulnerable, like abuse, neglect, exploitation, abandonment, etc., etc., etc. And at the end, it is telling that building a robust child tracking data collection and management system. We went and asked the government, sir, explain what is this you may mean. Tell you frankly, government of Karnataka had no answer for this. They said, Gottilla, we don't know, we are working on that. And then we found that, I think it's in the subsequent slide, they said that yes, we are developing a child tracking system. We went and asked, what is a child tracking system? It is mother and child tracking system. Good. Then there is another Bhagyalakshmi child tracking system. Good. But Bhagyalakshmi is only for children belonging to normally who get that scheme, girls who get that scheme, and not other children. And we also have one school tracking system. I'll come to it later. So we said that let us build a tracking system, data and tracking system, not just collection of data, but giving meaning to it, interpreting it, and finding out what can be done. This is it. So we have this school children unique ID number, and then we have GJ automation, and then we looked at our children, our progress. Currently, we are working with the Rural Development Panchayat Raj Ministry. We have taken permission, rather a kind of an agreement with them to work with 20 Gram Panchayats in Raibagh Taluk, Belgaum district, trying out a system called OCOP, Our Children, Our Progress. I will not bore you with all these, what is, how it is and all that. It's basically looking at the status of children and movement of children. Okay, I'll leave all this objective, etc., etc. Okay, this is what we would like to bring to your notice, that if data about every child in a Gram Panchayat is available, it can be used by several service providers, and as he was mentioning, several line department people too, so that the service delivery and the quality of service can be improved, monitored and checked. To tell you frankly, if an adult is denied of services, an adult will really raise their voice. They go even to the extent of filing a PIL. But what about children? Children, they don't have that voice. Many times children don't know that services are available. Even adults, parents don't know that services are available, and as a result, the losers are the children. And somebody is gaining out of it. In the last session, he was showing that as a conservative figure, about 2 crores of rupees at every Gram Panchayat, and he even mentioned that it can go to 7 crores. And that 7 crores, he said, while closing my eyes, I can say 7 crores. Open my eyes, I can say 14 crores. That's what he was telling. So also about children. Money spent about children runs into lakhs and crores in every Gram Panchayat, but not accounted. No one knows how this money comes and how this money is spent, because many services are just notional on the paper given. We would like to track that services so that they can reach the children, the real children. This is how we are looking at data. It has to be fed about children, and in the OCOP software, in the server. More interesting thing is we want to develop reports. I will show you the reports later. And the data can be updated once in every 6 months or whatever may be the period that we can fix, and the reports can be used by several users. Do I need to mention about it? I think I'm talking about it, how the data can be used. This is a kind of a poster and publicity we gave in Raibagh Taluk to invite every family to come and give the data about their children. Initially, there are a lot of doubts. They said, is it Aadhaar? Is it ration card? Is it voter ID? Is it something else? Then we have to explain that no, nothing doing. We are experimenting something. It is not Aadhaar. This survey or putting the data about your children in this system is not going to give you anything right now. We are not going to promise, because many people have promised many things to people to get data. Asuparthivi, we give you a cattle, or we give you one more card so that you can enroll your data. It is not that. We have not given any assurance to people. We said this is basically to monitor the service delivery, and probably people understood and they have given data enthusiastically. This is a sample questionnaire. Somebody was telling in the last session that than going for an Excel sheet, do you have a form? We are trying with the form. This is a kind of a form which has been developed, which is online. This OCOP, it captures data from the root level. Okay, Abhishek, Abhilash? Okay, root level, and take action. Basically, birth and death. Let us say birth and death. Every child, when the child was born, and if the child dies, when the child died. So, in between, what happened to the child? So, in between, what is the health development in terms of immunization, etc., in terms of education, in terms of family, in terms of protection. If the child has fallen out of the family, or if the child has been put into exploitation, let's say child labor, or child marriage, or devadasi, what happened to the child, and what are the services the child is due, whether the child got it or not. These are various reports that it can generate. I'll just take one report. Look at here, children caste wise. If Panchayat gets to know that there are so many children belonging to scheduled caste, so many children belonging to scheduled tribe, so many children in the group of minority, Christian, Muslim, etc. Then, and also if relate this caste to disability, disability, relate this caste and disability, caste and school, caste and child labor, then probably Panchayat can take up a micro planning there itself. We need not have to come to Bangalore with all the data, go sit in with the secretary and get the gyan of the secretary to take up action or program. The plan for the children can be done at the Panchayat level itself with the PDO, school teacher, Anganwadi, and the ANM can sit together and say, this is what we are going to do next year for our children. They need not even go to the taluka headquarters. They need not even go to the district headquarters. They can finish up there itself. To tell you, they can actually wipe out the NGOs from the map of villages. They can do it. Well, these are various kinds of reports that can be generated. From the general questionnaire, the various breakup, these data can be gathered in due course of time. It is not that one time you have to get data. The form is so prepared that the data can be, if a mother is busy and she is not there to give data, she can just give 2-3 answers and get away, run away. And she can come back always sometime later and give the rest of the information. We are not in a hurry to fill up all our forms in one day or 1 week and say that, yes, we have got the data. Various report cards, as I was mentioning, and they can be correlated while developing the reports. And this is how the report forms. They can develop these reports at any point of time. They can go on generating the reports at various intervals. This is a basic report. Look at this, 3 to 6, 0 to 3, 3 to 6, 6 to 14, 14 to 18. Whatever I speak, I am speaking only in this bracket, 0 to 18, 0 to 18. We know nothing beyond this. We talk only about children who are below 18 years. So number of boys, number of girls, and the total population in a village of children, and think about various possibilities for those children. That's what we are talking about. This didn't happen automatically or it didn't happen overnight. I'm telling you, this is an exercise that we took more than 10 years to go step by step. Can you go for this demonstration? Come.
Here, this is where we log in. This is a portal, and we just log in using. We have a user specific. Like for example, let's say we can't give away the data to everyone else. Like police, they don't. If you give all the data to like particular children, where does he situate? What's the address of it? So child trafficker can easily go track it and can misuse the data. So there are a particular admin has his own his own access, and even police people, they have their own access. They can see only their data related specific. Right now we have collected around 3,900 household. That is household in the sense particular. They have entered into those 3,900 house. So then around 7,116. That is the number of children records we have collected so far. And how do they collect it? So how do they collect it? It comes here. Yes. So how do they collect it? They just we have a unique. They're just like Aadhaar card. They have a unique ID. We have developed our own unique ID so that we can easily track which household we are in, and we just fill all these things. We just enter all the data over here, and respectively, then we just have to say this form. Now the fun part comes in the reports section. The same thing goes for all. We have to fill up the education form, immunization. Each form has its own specific details and all those things. So now, if a user, if admin or if anyone wants to know what kind of reports he has to see, he just has to go. You have to go to age-wise. There were other things. So I'll click on the age-wise. I want to see how many children's, how many female. Yeah, we have, as Sharma mentioned, yeah, we have only done for Raibagh district, the Belgaum.
We want to extend it to others. If anybody is interested, we can give rights to them to fill in the data. Because we are experimenting, we could invest some money there. We had about 20 volunteers to go around to every village, every family, and get the data. That was done only for Raibagh Taluk in 20
So you can fill it just in the household entry. You can just fill it that particular region and the same data from. It just picks up from the database and just display it out there. Just a report level, yeah. So this is how we are forming a data where a user can actually see. I selected from the Raibagh. I selected the few things like Gram Panchayat, like Alagwadi, Alaknur, Baikod, and Chinchadi. And this I want to see how male 0 to 3. I want to see there are 236 males and 3 to 6, 251 pips are there. And yeah, that's it. We are just okay. Then if you want to see other reports, if like for example, I want to see caste wise, because there are people who are more specific about caste wise. In villages, you have SC, ST, rural, all the backward classes and all. So we have all the reports over here. You just want to see which reports we can go. So I'm going to caste wise right now. Same thing. So just a simple UI we have developed right now. Okay, here is a PDF which is getting generated, and here is our data visualization graphs which we are generating. See, I want to see how many SCs are there in the 48.7% of the SCs are there in that particular village, and respectively how many number of people are there. Caste wise, 0 to 3 there are around 230 male are there, and this is we are dividing into SC, ST or others and all those things, community. And there is one more important thing we have is this is the one which individual report. The individual report is you can go and track each child.
And that can be done only by people who are authorized.
So we are
anybody can see the reports, that is the numbers, But getting into the individual child report is only for the authorized people.
Okay. Yeah. So this is what we are talking about. We can easily know what exactly who the child is, his date of birth. We will get to know who the where the caste is. It actually gives the individual child report, and this is the data which is more secure. So we can't directly give it to anyone. So because people can misuse the data. So one thing is we have to protect this data. So it's given only to the admin or the police people who we can trust us. And all the data we are currently using it in a MySQL database, so it's an open source. All the things are open source over here. We are using PHP also.
Okay, to close this.
Okay.
Right now we have this data that we have done only for these 20 panchayats. We would like to go further and see the possibilities of utilizing this kind of a software to report about every child in every gram panchayat. This is not going to be a standalone and somebody's property. We want to give it as a free source to Government of Karnataka if they are willing. Rather, now they have shown willingness, and also other NGOs if they are interested in tracking their own programs. We have been getting a lot of inquiries about it. On 29th, we are launching this program, Our Children, Our Progress in Bangalore, March 29th. And this will be a developing material. This is not an end. We would like to work further on it in terms of the application and also in terms of usage, maybe tweaking something in the software and probably linking this software to some other software. That is also we are open for that. Thank you.
And one more major thing we would like to add is, as on this day when you see it has been kept open-ended, he was running and adding every district and all. It is so flexible. Tomorrow it can start acquiring data from an Assam or Kerala or any other part of India. We can implement this project and start getting the data.
Has the data led to any interventions? Has the data led to any insights that have led to interventions?
Okay.
That has led to action?
Okay, that's a very good point. That is the purpose. There's a purpose actually why we are doing it. In the very process of collecting the data, in some panchayats, teachers really got alerted. That is enough. Anganwadi workers got alerted. The biggest dividend is the health workers got alerted. Okay, that is getting alerted is point one. Second is, we have not yet given this data to any official source or official service people so that they can use it. But some of the data has been used in the Gram Sabhas and also to develop what we call it as Child Rights Protection Committee at the Gram Panchayat level. Just to give you one line here, you go to police station in rural areas, ask them about the data related to number of children who are missing, runaway, whatever it may be. You will get almost zero. Is it to say that no child has run away from villages? You find so many boys and girls in Bangalore railway station. Where are they coming from? Mostly villages. But you go to the village police station, they say no, not even a single case. Go to families and ask them. They say, yes sir, no, we have gone to the police station and filed a complaint. But it's not a complaint. No FIRs are filed. Okay. Now police have taken it seriously. Now we have went to the police station, asked them, sir, so many people say that 35 children have disappeared in this village, but I don't see even a single FIR. Okay, that's the kind of education that is happening. We are looking at interventions to happen in due course of time. Yeah.
What exactly is the end goal for this whole system?
Okay. What is the end goal? End prayers
See, the ultimate objective is today, as he rightly said, about a couple of years back, when we are asking the question, how many children, people are saying, I don't know, we don't know, nothing is there. Today, they had come to a situation telling some figure. And if we look at it, the figure that they are telling is influenced by the background in which they are telling. For example, out of school children. The school division, if you ask headmaster, he will say, no, yaru illa, no out of school children. When we get through this, when we were to record saying that somebody is there, we can authentically prove to him. That's number one. Likewise, when it comes to the question of Anganwadi or midday meal, see the midday meal program would have said 90 children are there. When we literally go there and check, there may be 20-30 guys are sitting there. So why that figure of 30 and 90 is the difference? Because of the fund flowing into that. Because it is built for 90, all that expenses is there. Whereas actually there could be 30. But there is no authenticated document or proof to prove that. And apart from that, one more thing is, once in 5 years or once in 10 years, the data is collected and that is in the form of hardcore paper, it is available, it is kept. Not usable on day-to-day basis. If you want to use, you have to go there and check and all that. Whereas here, we would like to see at a distance from now, if the PDO is very serious, he can put up a date in once in 3 months or 6 months to update the data. Because once in 6 months there could be a child death. If child has died, then the number of children will come down. Or if couple of families have migrated from one place to the other, then automatically the number would have changed. And in the morning I asked our former election commissioner that once the list is available, why are we struggling to reproduce that list? See, for example, once when the PDO, Panchayat level or a Taluka level has got so many children, so many families, so many voters, whatever it figures, if that gets depleted or changed, there can only be one change when the death is there or somebody leaves the location, migrates into somewhere else, there can be change. So it can be deducted here and credited to that account, you know. Am I answering your point?
I'll have to come back. Apart from capturing data
Yeah.
and making it easier for stakeholders there,
Yeah.
making it easier for stakeholders there, are you looking at something having an impact across the country for the children?
Yes.
That's it.
And
That is the basic core part.
yeah, that's what I was asking for. So see, here, as you said, I think this can be used for a whole lot of things.
Yes.
Now, if a Gram Panchayat has 50 children below age of 5, what is the planning fund requirement?
Correct.
18 years down the line, is there enough college infrastructure
Correct.
for girl students? Is there enough toilet infrastructure, especially in the wake of the enrollment ratio being very low?
Correct.
That was all the spin-offs that you can actually locate. But what is the strategic goal of all this data is what I'm...
First and foremost is to make the government to realize, yes, this is need of the hour, this is useful, this is required. And all that interaction has already happened. And at certain point of authorities have already asked, yes, you are giving it. Who will administer it or who will monitor this? I think this was the question asked by one of the senior principal secretary. We said, yes, it's the department, somebody has to own the responsibility. See, we can help them in creating the infrastructure, put it in place. But thereafter, NGO cannot come to make it popularized throughout. They have to run it somewhere, no?
Okay, last one question.
I think this is a brilliant idea, and a small sort of suggestion. So, when you're implementing it in the place, like now you are collecting data from the family, right? What if you can implement this during the birth certificate writing? That way, the collection of data is easy. I mean, the new child,
Yeah.
a born child,
Yeah.
immediately we can get the data and populate the database, right?
Yeah.
That's a dream.
I think
And not only that.
That's it. That's a dream. What is happening is right now there is no system to capture data about children at all. As in
It's a suggestion for you guys.
Correct.
Collection of data. For the a child is born every minute in India. So if the system is in place where the birth certificate is being written, so it's easy to collect the data as well, right? That's it.
You are right.
we are also dreaming that it should generate a birth certificate without running around.
No, that is one part. But much more interesting is, I think we didn't go you through the detailed presentation there. The software is built in such a way, keeping Indian context as the reference point, because the birth certificate what you are talking can only be considered if the birth take place in a hospital or a family delivery section or somewhere. We have to think of rural background in a village where in the past the deliveries are happening in the household only, the Solagiti or something like that. That is number one. And not only that, in this software it has already been taken into account who is that unique ID, what he said, is the mobile number or the voter's ID or whatever the number he used. We have kept it open. Okay. Just by putting that, which the customer has given or the individual has given, his whole history can come out, number one. Number two, at what age he got married, that also gets embedded into the system. Then at what age his marriage took place. And is the lady giving birth to the child, is herself a minor, that also we have incorporated. And from there it starts with immunization, the next part. Has the child been given the various dosing of drugs at different stages, whatever has to be done. And next comes, it even takes care of much more important part of it is malnutrition. So many things. I mean, whatever that has come into their mind and to our mind which has been put here, we have tried to embed into it, and it is in such a situation, it can be open-ended, it can be made more user-friendly and usable-friendly, and that's the objective. And for your information, you may be surprised to see the data that has been collected, not with the tech-savvy people at all. The people who have collected he has never handled a laptop. Sharma was very, very kind enough to get 20 laptops and given to the boys. When it was taken, some people have done puja in their house because he has come with some background and all that experience they narrated. We were thrilled to hear them actually. You see, because we collecting some data is easy. I mean, they would not have, would have progressed much far ahead, because in spite of making so many checkpoints to restrict the misuse or misbehave the pattern part of it, in spite of all that, the data that we got is to be processed like anything to bring to this stage, because we spent a lot in handling that data. And apart from that, we are very happy because we were able to work with the real factual part of the place where the people don't know anything about it and they have contributed, and that has come to this stage. And credit should go to all of us.
Thanks, Vasudeva and the team. Yeah, thank you. To tell you, we are more interested in further developing it. Why we are here is basically requesting you people who are into technology as well as who are interested in development to support us in this cause. Thanks to Sridhar who introduced us to this. Yeah, thank you.